What's going on, tubes? This is my recently acquired 1986 Little Wonder walk behind blower. It's got a 5 horsepower Briggs & Stratton Magnetron engine, which is 206 cc's. I know it's an 86 because of the code tells me, which is part of the first series of Little Wonders. They built them from 1971 to 1987, this first series. You could tell by the handlebars as one thing. The very early ones had a even more open front guard. But other than that, and besides the fact that my engine is an electronic ignition as opposed to a points and condenser system, it's basically all the same as part of the first series. I got this from a neighbor up the road. He's going to be moving away and he won't be needing it anymore. When I first got it, it was still in relatively good condition, but the tires didn't have air, they didn't hold air. I fixed that. It had really old stale gas in it. I siphoned it out, sprayed some seafoam in there to clean that up in there, sprayed seafoam into the carburetor, readjusted the carburetor. Luckily I didn't have to open the carb. What happened was the first like 5 minutes I was spraying starter fluid in and it would kick over but it wouldn't stay running, and I was just about to open the carburetor, which on these isn't as easy as a float bowl. These are a diaphragm setup and they're bolted right above the fuel tank, and a brass fuel tube goes down in there and has a screen. So they're a little bit more difficult to clean, so that would have been a pain, but I got lucky, and what I did was I gave it one chance. I tilted the engine like this and then I pulled it. It kicked over and it caught itself and it started pumping and started running. Because what my guess is the screen, that brass tube that goes down in there to draw the fuel up to the carburetor, was clogged, and when I put it on its side like this, that unclogged the screen and then everything was good to go. This choke lever was a little loose. I tightened that up. I cleaned the spark plug. You know, I blew all the debris out of the fins. The air filter was good. It's missing its pre-filter. I just cleaned the regular air filter. Eventually I'll get a pre-filter for it. Now, these older ones didn't say Little Wonder like this. I added this decal, the letters like this. It actually said it on here, on a sticker itself, but it's faded. It said Little Wonder, you know, sold all across the world, you know, made in Pennsylvania. This is a model 9005S, I believe. I'm pretty sure. It's faded away, but the P would have been the industrial commercial engine. The S is the regular. But they make them now with 6.5 horsepower engines. But those 6.5 horsepower engines are still only 206 cc. So really, this 5 horsepower L head is just as powerful as those 6 and 6.5 horse. Plus those newer ones are overhead valve. This one runs even better. It runs smooth as can be. Has no pulse to it at all, just smooth and steady. A real strong engine, you know, really strong. Plus I got my throttle up here to lower the wind speed when I need. It's got the bi-directional. You know, you can shoot it at the side like this, or you can open this and shoot it at the front. And it shoots at just under 200 miles an hour, which is nice. You can open up the guard, the front guard, which I had opened. You can hook attachments to this, like a vacuum tube and a bag. I had an old MTD 3-in-1, which it was a blower, and it also turned into a vacuum with a vacuum tube. It had a big bag on the back, and it had a little self-propel thing that made the wheel turn, so this way when the bag filled it would be easier to move. But that one was a little bit too big, so I sold that one for like $450 plus $50 to deliver to the guy. And I found that one in the garbage, and it was in excellent condition. It just needed a few parts. The zipper needed to be repaired on the bag. It needed to be cleaned up. That was it, and I ended up selling that one. But I'm keeping this one because it's more compact. Now, like I said, these ran from 71 to 87, I'm pretty sure, because I did find the manual online. And, you know, it's got the solid L head Briggs, and it starts very easy. Like I said, only that first time when it had sat with bad fuel in it, it was hard to get going that first time, but now it's excellent. It's in excellent condition. And what people don't realize is these older first series, second series ones are actually better than many of the newer ones, because these engines are just built much more solid and they run more powerful. That alone, you know. And yeah, it's got it's a solid 4-fin solid steel blade in there, you know, opposed to an aluminum one that can be bent. So this was built with quality. So I'm going to hang on to this one for now because I'm going to use it in the fall. If I do eventually sell it, I'm going to sell it for about, yeah, $300, and that's a fair price because one's now new. With a 5 horsepower, a 6.5 horse, 206 cc are going for about $1,000. Okay, I don't need the attachments, I don't need none of that, but I'm gonna hang on to this one for a while. Let me show you how well it runs. All right, I'll put it on choke. It's on start, throttle, pull to start it. I'm gonna show you how well it runs, how well it blows. This thing is a beast. Idle's nice and smooth. I can get it down lower. Right about there. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, these older ones with these solid Briggs L heads, these American Briggs and Stratton Magnetrons, you can't beat these machines. You can't beat them like for a long shot. Them overhead valves, you can hear them, they clunk. This sucker, you know, you hear that thing at full throttle, it doesn't even have a pulse, it's steady. And you know, know, it's summer right now, so there's really not too many leaves to show, but, you know, it says in the manual runs about 197 miles per hour. It's perfect. Perfect for what I need. So, little 1986 Little Wonder, part of the first series, the first generation. Excellent machine. I highly recommend them. These older ones are as good as the new ones, if not better. Alright, tubes. Later.